This segment of the news is brought to you by Finance of America. For all your mortgage needs, call Amy Childress or Shannon Keller at 702-372-6607.
Welcome back to News 46. Is MRI exposure during early pregnancy associated with increased fetal harm? Well, that's the question that's examined in today's JAMA report.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Hi Lauren, Joel Ray, nice to see you.
Should women take a pregnancy test before having an MRI? A new study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association looked at the safety of magnetic resonance imaging during pregnancy, especially during the first trimester.
Are there any risks to the baby?
We already have a fair amount of data on CAT scan safety in pregnancy, but MRI was lacking.
Dr. Joel Ray and his colleagues at St. Michael's Hospital in Toronto analyzed data collected over 12 years and concluded that MRI in the first trimester was not harmful to the developing fetus.
A first trimester MRI is unlikely to be harmful, so special pregnancy testing or measures are unlikely to be required.
Women undergoing an MRI with the contrast agent gadolinium at any point during pregnancy were also included in the study. These MRIs with contrast were associated with a higher risk of fetal death and a variety of inflammatory and skin conditions in the newborn.
For gadolinium, it reinforces what's an to-date evidence-free notion that gadolinium might harm the fetus, and in this case, gadolinium contrast would be best avoided in pregnancy.
This is Laura Kelly for the JAMA Report.
And two cars collided near the hospital yesterday afternoon.
We're dispatched for a report of a two-vehicle accident, unknown extent of injuries. As we arrived on location, sheriff's deputies were already there. They had assessed the scene and actually waved us off to go to a more serious accident that occurred about a quarter mile away.
Were there injuries at all at this one?
No, there were no injuries reported. It was a property damage only accident. However, on our way back from the second call, we did stop and just ensure that, again, there were no injuries.
There's quite a few accidents at that location going in, to and from Desert View Hospital. Why do you think, or what do you think that people should do to avoid it?
They should really consider making sure they stop at the stop sign, as well as also with the oncoming roundabouts. That is going to be a detour route, so the frequency could increase as far as the accidents. Not at the roundabouts, but Lola Lane crossing over Wilson is a detour route.
Fire Chief Scott Lewis spoke to News 46 this morning about the fatal accident over the weekend that killed 33-year-old Christine Weir and critically injured her fiancé, 33-year-old Brian Schwanier. Brian has since come home from the hospital to an empty house that he and Christine just purchased and were preparing for their wedding, which was to be on October 16th. 22-year-old Ashley Wynn has been arrested and charged with drunk driving, causing a death, DUI resulting in serious bodily injury, and failure to stop at a stop sign.
Saturday morning, just before 4 a.m., we were dispatched for a report of a two-vehicle accident. While we were en route, it was indicated that there were serious injuries and it may have actually be a fatal accident. So upon arrival, we did a complete scene assessment, scene size up. We found no additional scene hazards. However, we immediately identified one of the occupants did not survive the injuries from the collision. We also determined that there was at least two other patients. One required extrication. We had brought Mercier into our assignment. However, we transported that patient after extrication to base 21.
The other occupant of the pickup truck?
The other patient was evaluated and assessed and transported to Desert View Hospital.
That road was closed down for quite a while afterwards.
It was. There was an investigative team that came out to document the nature, and at one point then the fire department was called back to assist NHP.
You guys had a door pop on what vehicle at that point?
It was the vehicle that was struck on the side. It was actually two different extrications completed. For the driver, a door pop was completed to get that patient out to get them over to Mercier, base 21. Later on, there was a passenger door removed from the same vehicle and allow us to get to a victim that was in the vehicle.
You can see the road signs on Highway 372 and roads around it, which warn about the upcoming construction and detours starting October 3rd. Officials don't know the actual timeline yet for the construction of the 2 roundabouts that are to be built on Highway 372 and Blag and Highway 372 and Pahrump Valley Boulevard. They intend to begin construction on the 3rd of October. During construction, trucks will be detoured around the zone. Roundabout community workshops will be held on October 6th at Valley Electric Association on Highway 372. The workshops will explain how roundabouts increase safety and improve mobility. It will additionally instruct drivers and pedestrians on how to effectively navigate roundabouts for faster and more efficient travel. Next Thursday's meeting will begin at 4 p.m. and last until 6.
The Nevada Department of Transportation will activate 2 newly created 4-way signalized intersections at Fort Apache Road and El Capitan Way along State Route 160, or Blue Diamond Road, at 6 a.m. Thursday, September 29th in southwest Clark County. The $2.4 million project, which broke ground in May, includes traffic signals, at-grade pedestrian crossings, paving and curb, gutter and sidewalk improvements. Las Vegas Paving was the general contractor. State Route 160 has gone from a rural, lightly traveled road to a densely developed urban corridor with several residences, schools, and businesses during the past decade. The impacted stretch of roadway now averages up to 42,000 vehicles a day.
And we're hoping that that'll make it much safer to drive there to Las Vegas. We'll return in just a moment with more local news.